viewers, you're welcome to another fresh episode of the program, Couples Perspective, here on BATV. I am your presenter for today, Umo Blessing. Couples Perspective is a program where we invite the core members to share their ideas, to share their knowledge, and also to give us their advice. And so today we will be discussing about Mind the Gap. When we say Mind the Gap, what do we really mean? So to discuss this topic is here with me today on the show, the president of Mind the Gap CDS Group. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so very much for having me. Hi, viewers.
Nice to have you today on the show.
Honor is mine. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I meet you, please?
All right. So very shortly, my name is Kelvin James Osami. I'm here from Delta State, and I'm privileged to be, just like she said, the president of Mind the Gap on Bauchi State, or rather in Bauchi State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome once again.
Thank you so very much.
Okay. So back to the topic for today, Mind the Gap. So when we say Mind the Gap, what does that word implies? What do we mean by Mind the Gap? You know, how did you guys came about this word Mind the Gap?
Okay. All right. So the word Mind the Gap is actually an action word. You know, the gap is basically more like a lacuna, but that's for those in research. We discovered that our economy is greatly challenged digitally. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, a young core member actually was the person who came up with this particular idea. He thought of how greatly challenged our economy is digitally.
Okay.
You understand? So he felt there is a very wide gap between those persons who are literate and those who are illiterate. Yes. Yeah. So we needed to balance or close up the gap of digital literacy and digital illiteracy. So that's actually where the word mind the gap. So we're trying to close up the gap.
Okay.
So that's where it came from.
Okay, so thank you very much. So when you say close the gap between the digital literacy and the digital illiteracy, how do you mean? Like how do you intend to close this gap between these two?
Okay, now from little research I went through recently, I discovered that 50% of Nigerian youths particularly, are digitally illiterate.
Oh.
Yeah, 50% of Nigerian youths are digitally illiterate, which actually leaves Nigeria at a very disadvantaged point. You understand? Now, the idea of this particular mind the gap and digital, what they call it, came through to actually address this particular issue on ground. How can a country of Nigeria have 50% youth being digitally illiterate? I can imagine where we're actually heading to.
Yeah.
So now this particular idea came through to actually address this particular issue.
Okay.
Now, youths are greatly challenged, like I said. I am a youth, you are a youth.
Of course.
Good. Now, if I am being employed, for instance, I am being employed, and the first thing they probably ask me is that, are you a computer literate? Are you this one? Are you that one? And I tell them, no, sir, I'm not. Obviously, I'm losing that job. If there is another applicant who has a particular tech skills and all that.
Okay.
So basically, it became very important to actually have this youth or this particular idea of skill transferred to you to actually help them be employable. So that's basically the entire idea. The vision of Mind the Gap is basically to create a solution-based system where youths are placed in a stage of being employable.
Okay.
Do you understand? And of course, in reverse, adding to economic growth. So that's basically.
Okay.
Yes.
I think this is more like a skills acquisition, though.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No problem. So, what kind of skills or what are those skills you think one could invent in, maybe maybe as a core member, as a graduate, as a youth? What do you think? Like those skills you think one can go into so as to help them, close this gap between this digital literacy and digital literacy?
Okay, so now there are several skills out there.
Okay.
There are several skills out there that a youth can actually leverage on to be employable or to be investor ready. Do you understand? Because what we normally tell consumers or youth basically is that your certificate is not enough. Your certificate is not enough.
Definitely.
Yeah, in our serious group, we talk about something about certificate and certificate. Yes, exactly. Certificate and certificate. Do you understand?
Okay.
So these are two different certificates actually.
Yes.
The certificate is what you get from school.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then the certificate is the skills, the off-school skills you get, which forms a blend, forms a blend or adds value to the certificate you have.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because several offices or several firms right now are not really employing you based on just your certificate.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Do you understand? They're trying to know what extra can you do.
Yeah, what can you do? What do you have?
Do you understand? Can you do yourself? So basically, there are, just like I said, there are different skills out there. We have digital skills, digital marketing skills.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We have human resource skills. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We have project management skills.
Okay.
Do you understand? Then of course we have CRM, that's customer relationship management skills.
Okay.
Then generally we have ICT skills.
Okay.
Yeah, because everything here thrives on the platform of our ICT.
Okay.
Human resource management. Currently, you can't be a very good human resource manager if you don't know or have knowledge of ICT.
Yeah, sure.
So either of them you need, it revolves around the sphere of ICT. So we have, just like I mentioned, digital marketing. We have social media marketing.
Okay.
This is actually a trending skill that most firms are looking for. Every firm is looking for how to advance the presence of their either product or services. So of course the advent of digital managers are becoming very much in it. So these are some of the few skills amongst so many that they can leverage on.
Wow, thank you very much. So, sorry, you said something earlier about investor ready.
Yeah.
When you say investor ready, what do you mean by that?
Okay. Just like I mentioned earlier, if you went to school, or rather, we have too many graduates out there, either with a BSc or with an HND, do you understand? Rolling around the streets, with a first class actually, do you understand? With zero skills, with zero extra skills. Now, the word being investor ready simply means that a youth or a core member is not just sitting back and waiting for opportunities to come. Do you understand? He is getting himself refined, leveraging on those particular skills we talked about, so that when that particular dream, as a supposed dream job comes, he is not left disadvantaged.
Okay.
So he's staying ready. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Being invested, every firm is looking for an individual or a youth who they can invest in.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Of course, in human resource management, of course, we see human beings as assets. Do you understand? So no firm would actually want to invest in you if you are not employable, if you are not an asset. So that's exactly what investor ready is. You are learning skills and getting yourself ready for that dream job you're looking for.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
I want to know, who are your target audience?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So our target audience, just of course, we're putting on NYC cap and all that, and the khaki and so on. So basically, core members are one of our first target audience.
Oh.
Yeah, foremost target audience. Then of course we have the second group of target audience. We have secondary school students.
Okay.
And that's secondary school leavers. Do you understand? So we have this slogan of catch them young. You understand? If we can pass these particular skills to them at a very tender age, it becomes very easy for them. Then for the core members, if we can get these core members ready before they're done serving, then of course they become very, very employable. And of course the economy, they wouldn't be there searching for jobs. I think I need to say this. There's this particular saying that there are no jobs out there. Job day, work day. Do you understand? It's just that the jobs out there is looking for skilled personnel.
Okay.
That is the problem. So now too many persons do not have those skills to take on those jobs. Do you understand? Adverts are there out there. Do you have the skills? So basically that's the reason why core members are very foremost target audience than secondary school leavers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you profile a core member or a graduate who is void of digital skills?
Okay.
How do you profile them?
Wow. I would say this in local balance. Or let me just borrow the word of Mahatma Gandhi. He said something. Learn as if you're going to live forever.
Okay.
Then live as if you're going to die tomorrow. Now, basically, a youth or a common brother who is void of these skills, you're greatly disadvantaged. That's the word. Because basically, if I am to employ two persons,
yeah,
and you have a first class, do you understand? In any field, and you're void of those particular extra skills. Well, Mr. B is having a third class, but he has those skills. I'll go leave you. That's the point. Do you understand? I would actually leave you and pick that person because he is very experienced and he has actually proven that he has great potential to learn.
Okay.
Do you understand? So a commitment that is void of these particular skills, trust me, you would actually roam about the streets for a very long time. Whatever you do.
Wow.
So it's very expedient that you take on.
Okay, so how important is this digital skills to the core member, maybe graduates, and maybe in general?
Okay. All right, now, our economy is by and large overly digitalized.
Okay.
Everything thrives on electronics.
Okay.
Computers, phones, and all that. So now, if at this particular age you're not tech savvy, or you're not ICT inclined,
okay,
then of course you have a problem already. You have a problem already. You understand? Because everything right now is even the camera that is being used right now.
Yeah.
Is actually a skill that you need to actually operate the camera. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. Some people are paid to operate phones. Do you understand? Some people are paid to chat. Do you understand? Yes. Some people right now currently, some people are just paid. Companies pay chat their customers.
Yeah.
Respond to their customers. Exactly.
Also.
They call them chat specialists.
Okay.
Do you understand? So these skills are skills that you just have to. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice that you take on them. If you don't take on them, just like I said, you go work out. You go there. Yes.
So how can one apply this to their life? Like, how can I apply this to my life?
Okay. Application is very simple. Application is very simple because knowledge is the application. Information is the application. Sorry, I think that's the reverse. Knowledge is the application of the right information.
Okay.
Do you understand? If I learn and just sit back, then of course I become stale. Do you understand? Now, apply this particular skill just like what I'm doing right currently. What I'm doing currently.
Yeah.
I went to a PA program or training and eventually exposed me to the point that, excuse me, that I have this ability to actually do small, I can talk a little bit and all that. Then eventually I started practicing. It became very simple for me, it became very smooth. Now, if you learn and drop, eventually you would forget.
Yeah.
If you don't apply them. You actually say there are no jobs.
Yeah.
Or there are no places to actually to put to practice. Take on free or voluntary jobs. Yes. Take on voluntary jobs. Go to NGOs or any firm, take on voluntary jobs just to get yourself perfected, that's all. So by doing that, actually building confidence. You're building capacity. Do you understand? So I think that's it.
Wow. Okay, so what advice do you have for the core members or graduates out there, or for the incoming PCA members? What advice do you have for them?
All right, so let me start off with the potential auto-dose. All right, for the
auto-dose in the making.
Exactly. For the potential auto-dose, we're going to be in your camps. Do you understand? When it comes to you guys. But the entire point is that let me even start with those about living or those your service here is just 12 months or less than 12 months. If you waste it, you've actually wasted like 12 or 20 years of your time. Because too many of you are looking for jobs right now. Too many of you are praying rather to get jobs when you're done with service. What are you doing currently? What capacity are you building currently? what skill are you building currently, or are you learning currently to actually put you at an advantage point to take on those jobs? Are you being invested already, or you're just going for, today you go to your friend's place and all that? What value is your service here adding to you? You don't have time. You don't have time. There are jobs out there, but you need skills to take on these jobs. You can start today, get registered. These skills are actually very cheap. They're not expensive.
How much?
Some of them, you can actually learn them online.
Online?
Yes, but of course, online school now. You need extra power and energy. You understand? But as low as 23,000, you can actually learn these skills. Do you understand? And I mean, some firms actually made it very subsidized for us. The payments are very flexible. You don't need to pay advance. Coppers, well, they always complain the money. Once I think you don't drop, that's go buy food. Yes. But basically, 33,000, you should be able to save up little for self-development. Very important.
Okay.
What are you doing during your study here?
Okay.
So I think this is a simple advice. Take on a skill. You don't have a choice. Unless you want to do work. Do you understand? If you don't want to be roaming about after service, then take on a skill today. Then for those going into camp, of course.
The incoming PCM.
Yes. The incoming autodos. The white flowers, that's what we call them. So do you understand? For you guys, I think it's actually it's an early starter for you to start thinking while you're going into camp. You start thinking, yes, so I want to do this particular thing. I want to seek for mentorship, yes. If you don't know the skills to take on, seek for mentorship. Meet one or two of us and ask them questions. Which skill do you think in this particular time I'm going to take on? It gives you focus. When you leave camp, you don't waste a month or a week. You take on this thing. I mean, you see, before you're done serving, before 12 months, you don't carry that 4 or 5 certificates per month.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? So I think this is a very good advice for you guys.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much for joining us today on the show.
Thank you so very much.
I'm personally glad to have you.
I'm so honored.
I must confess, I've learned a lot. And I believe the viewers out there have learned a lot. Thank you very much. And I hope we invite you some other time.
Yeah, sure.
You'll have our time.
That's if we're still 7.
No, that, of course.
Thank you so much.
So you out there, as a serving corps member, while you're waiting for that white collar job, while you're still serving, like our guest earlier said, learn a skill, look for something and do, okay? Don't waste your time. Alright, so today, we've come to the end of the show for today. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining us today on the program. Till we meet again next week for another fresh episode of the program, Couples Perspective. I still remain your presenter, Umo Blessing.